transfer. Yeah.
Yay! Since we started interacting with local farms, we kind of realized that they are really struggling.
In the past 7 years, we didn't make any money.
Even after the COVID, we are going to deal with the labor shortage.
1 out of 2 are having cholesterol issues.
This is a 5-star hotel actually for the vegetable. Room service,
We have our own Singapore cocktail, right? So this is the equivalent and it's called the Singapore salad. It's all about making sure that we end food insecurity in Singapore.
It's very important that Singaporeans are coming together to support this food security against climate, against all the issues that we're facing in the world.
Family is something that's very important to us. So while we can modernize ourselves, we wanted to ensure that the roots are also not forgotten. My grandfather came after World War I from China, and this is the bed that he and my amma slept in. Basically, they brought 9 kids up from that little business that they had. So we have been doing some fresh items, back in the day already, and this is all before independence of Singapore in 1965. On this wall, you would actually see my late father. He was the most entrepreneurial of the 9 kids. I remembered when my brother didn't eat vegetables. The entire primary school, my dad said, I give you $1,000. Please eat the vegetable, please eat, please eat. And so now my brother is full of regret that he never accepted my father's bribes. He would have been a very rich man right now. We started food services together with my brother, and we actually bought over the family business, hoping to breathe new life into an old entity to have a more holistic basket of products for the entire ecosystem. We've done a lot of crazy things. Starting the food bank was one of them. It's all about championing food waste reduction and making sure that we end food insecurity in Singapore. But very few people knew that we actually started a side project to support farmers about 2015, 2016. We kind of realized that they are really struggling, and I've seen my fair share of farms actually open and close. Even talking about it makes me feel a little bit emotional because I've actually literally seen one of the farms, they sold it off to someone, and subsequently that young chap that bought it over because of a fire decide to close it down again. So I've seen all these farms, really like 倾家荡产 just to get into farming. Hopefully we'll be able to take everyone on a journey behind the real pains and struggles of what farming is all about. And I think sustainability ties on to food security as well. So just like what we're doing for the food bank to ensure that every needy person has something to fill their tummies. What about the rest of Singapore? I truly believe that collectively, F&Bs combined, we are able to feed the entire nation. And it's going to be beyond 30 by 30. That's what I feel. Yeah. And we have to tell the customer that actually don't have. So one of the purpose of Backyard really was to be able to aggregate and have some common vegetable. The Singapore salad was meant to aggregate any of the vegetables. I think we only sold less than 100? No, more than 100. Yeah, so these are very, very early days, but I think it's a great start. Let's keep our eye on the ball. 10,000 packets.
Today I'm really keen to find out more about how do we encourage kids to eat more vegetables.
But Fiona, what is the Singaporeans' level of nutrition? Do you know in general, what are we lacking?
Most of the statistics right now is showing that 1 out of 2 individuals are having cholesterol issues, and that's also due to poor intake of food and then lack of vegetables as well.
One of the reasons why I'm doing this is because urban populations in general are well fed but undernourished.
Most of the third world countries are facing malnutrition.
So we like to eat what pleasures us in that sense, right? Instant pleasure. So that's where fast food and all of that comes in.
Yeah, and I think for my 4 kids, right? So I've got
4 kids?
Yeah. 8.5 to 20 months and anyone in between. It's so important that it tastes good as well. If not, they're not going to eat it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you should get them to the farm, Nicole, for sure. All 4 of them.
Yes.
All right. So here's where it all starts. So this is the automated seeding. So the pots get made there automatically. The trays get filled with the pots. Goes further down. And there's a water jet here which puts in just the right amount of water depending on the type of crop or the seed.
So what medium do you use
Right.
actually?
We use organic-based mediums. We use peat, rice husk, wood chips, etc. to really create the base
So
for
it's
the
not
plants.
soil?
It's not soil because we wanted to create the right biome for the roots to prosper. These are the little yet to be born babies, right? So the seeds are inside. And this room is kept in a very controlled environment to allow the seeds to germinate or sprout the best. If you're picking up something from the shelf which is already 2 days in the supply chain coming there, you buy it, you consume it the next day, you're not getting the iron that you're promised by spinach, right?
Am I right to say that there's travelling time, even if it's just across the causeway, right?
Absolutely. And then there are multiple handling as well.
And by then, if you see the vegetable as a living thing, it has already sustained abuse for like 48 to 36 hours.
Whereas here, Nicole and I work together, we make sure that the produce is harvested today is on the shelf the next day. You know, there's not too many middlemen.
It's just like Singapore Sling. We have our own Singapore cocktail, right? So this is the equivalent and it's called the Singapore salad. We purposely ask every single farm to come up with their own blend. There's not going to be a single blend that's exactly the same because every farm has a different technology that can grow different crops in a different style, different length.
So this is really crunchy. Like I like the texture of it. So sometimes when we buy
Yeah.
from the supermarket, they tend to be a bit more limp.
Correct.
So this one is really crunchy.
Yeah, because it's fresh from the farms.
Yeah.
What we've also got back from our consumers is that a lot of them now value what they put into their bodies and they don't mind being a little bit more discerning about what they buy, especially if they believe that it's really helping them.
The farm is a little bit empty because I heard that you're moving, right?
Yeah, we're relocating to a new place, a bigger place. And then now with the unfolding of the COVID, we have a big labor issue. Even after the COVID, in my own opinion, we are going to deal with the labor shortage issue very seriously.
I see.
I was an engineer by training. I always have a lot of hobbies, especially doing gardening. One day I sit down and then I was building some prototype at home so that I can make use of some technology to grow something better. On the desktop I built something and then it automatically irrigate itself and then I add some fertilizer, it grow very well. My ambitions increased and increased, so I built the thing bigger and bigger to the point I was building my living room into an indoor farm. But the problem is that when you're doing gardening in the living room, I got a lot of water leak, you know. It flooded the whole living room and then my wife decided to chase me out. You go and set up your own indoor farm. So that's why I put up a place like this.
What is the technology behind?
Hydroponic basically use soil-based substrate to grow rather than just use pure water. For example, hydroponic, you only can have water-based nutrient, where in geoponic, we can have other form of nutrients as well. Now, what you see here, this is a 5-star hotel actually for the vegetable. Because we give them the aircon, we feed them with the room service, you know, all delivered right to them. When they are younger,
Yes.
and we give them white color lights. When they get into adult, we give them pink color. So you see the disco light there?
Yep.
So they have a party over there because when they are adult, they need party.
Okay.
You know.
You believe that indoor grown vegetables are more nutritious, at least based on your technology?
Yeah, indeed, it is healthier. Very fresh. Sometimes that's my lunch. Number one, we cut away all insects.
Yeah.
They're very smart, they're very tough. They eat it before we eat it. When we move indoor, it doesn't mean that we completely free from the challenge. We still have to fight against them. But we don't have to resort to putting harmful chemical to fight against them. So our vegetable go out completely pesticide free. We feed the kid with a dumpling. And they amazingly, they love it. Normally, they don't like to eat vegetable, but now they love to eat dumpling. You know, eventually we are the one benefit from it. We get the best food.
So
from
the
it.
happier vegetables, more nutritious for us, and then
More
hopefully happier
nutritious,
people as well.
So, and also that we have to organize the agricultural development much. I think as a human being, as a race, we can do much better. And not destroying the environment and keep our people tummy full. At the same time, we keep the environment intact so that we can still enjoy the environment nicely.
For
That
many
should be
more
our
years
goal.
to come.
Exactly. Right.